What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. It's been pretty clear for quite a long time now that Riot, as well as the player base, hasn't been too satisfied with the state of Aatrox. And finally, in a recent champion update post from Riot Rev 3, we've received some nice information about what's actually going to go down with the future rework of Aatrox. Like some other champions in the past, Aatrox has been kind of a case of just somewhat failing to deliver on the original hype his character promised. When he was first revealed to the players, there was quite a lot of excitement as a result of his art and theme and, just the fact that he was really unique and interesting. Players were definitely really interested in buying him up from the store to try him out when he was first released, only to be greeted with some lackluster gameplay that kind of just didn't meet up with the expectations. Ever since that point, Aatrox has been a little bit of an issue that Riot hasn't really been able to correct in a way that they wanted to, despite being one of the most popular requests for a gameplay update for quite some time now. And at long last, it seems like Aatrox is finally going to be getting that coveted rework that he desperately needs, and so far it sounds like it'll be one of the biggest gameplay updates ever. To fully grasp what might happen with Aatrox's rework, we have to look a lot closer at player expectations as well as the current state of Aatrox. Imagine you don't know anything about his gameplay, you kind of just look at his appearance as a character. He looks like this slender, intimidating demon with this big ass sword. It seems like he'd revel in the death of his enemies. That was the first impression that a lot of players had when Aatrox was first teased, yet when they got into game with him, they found that his actual gameplay didn't really line up with his character. It made sense for Riot to go with the drain tank sort of niche, since that was a really cool area to explore for champion design, hadn't really been done before in the game, but his gameplay was actually quite lackluster, just vanilla, very auto attack focused, kind of felt like just an alternative version of Tryndamere really. When describing Aatrox, Riot used the phrase feast or famine in terms of his playstyle, and it's pretty clear why. If there's ever a patch where Aatrox's numbers or perhaps the items he prefers are a little bit too powerful, he becomes actually pretty unstoppable because you just are never able to fight him because he out-heals your damage and is just overall way too strong. On the other hand, any patch where his numbers are maybe a little bit weaker, or perhaps some of his counter champions are more popular, he's definitely leaves a lot to be desired. It's not unnatural for a champion to change in popularity between patches, but the same pattern emerged on a game-by-game basis. Either you found success in the early game, maybe became unstoppable later on, or you struggled in the early game and you would just spend the rest of the time trying to catch up, might as well have just been AFK for the rest of the match. It's pretty clear that a lot of aspects of Aatrox's gameplay need some serious changes, and from Riot's comments so far, it seems like we're going to get exactly that. We know for a fact that every single one of Aatrox's abilities is up for evaluation and update, making it potentially the largest pure gameplay update that Riot have ever done to a champion. Riot Meddler confirmed that the more recent Aatrox changes, they gave him kind of a little mini rework. They were just to put him in a more reasonable spot until they can finally finish his update, and that the update is going to much better incorporate his lore into his gameplay and give him something that makes him a lot more distinct from other champions. Aatrox's lore and art has always been quite interesting really, so being able to focus entirely on the gameplay aspects of his rework should allow Riot to tie things into his theme better and make him really feel like a more coherent champion that is up to their current standards. He was originally planned for the Diver update, but since the Diver update has since been kind of cancelled, since Riot doesn't want to do any more overall class updates anymore, it's starting to seem a lot more likely that Aatrox's rework is going to be released as a standalone sometime either towards the end of this year or early next year. And I would say that's a pretty good thing since he definitely does need quite a lot of work. Either way though, he's a really high priority for the rework teams right now, and he's definitely at the top of the list for the next champion that the rework teams are going to work on. In fact, I believe the team that just finished up the Urgot rework is going to be tackling the Aatrox rework next, so that should definitely be something to look forward to, and hopefully should be finished relatively soon. Aatrox does suffer from quite a lot of core gameplay issues in every phase of the game, but the biggest, without a doubt, definitely has to be the stat checking. When it comes to drain tanking, you either kind of just have the numbers to do it and be unkillable, or you kind of just don't and you die too fast. It's a really unhealthy playstyle, and it's really almost impossible to get it to a point where it feels good for both sides of the gameplay. On top of that, his revive passive also introduces a lot of laning pattern problems to the point where he, in some situations, is essentially better off suiciding to try to take an enemy down with him. Again, that's a pretty bad spot to be in for a fighter. You know, if you look past the lifesteal focused and revive and see what's left of Aatrox, he's not exactly that exciting. He has a dash, a little bit of a ranged poke, and that's kind of about it. When Riot say they are likely to evaluate and update every one of his abilities, it's a big indicator that they're likely going to craft an entirely new gameplay identity for Aatrox. Playing up his archetype as a demon is probably a really cool way for them to go about it, although Riot Reeve 3 has confirmed that they are not intending to turn him into a stereotypical demon-like creature for sure. Riot has always preferred taking a fantasy archetype and putting their own spin on it, and it's pretty much guaranteed that they'll continue this trend with Aatrox. There haven't been any clear indications of what exactly the changes to his gameplay are going to be, and I don't really want to speculate about them in this video, to be exact, because there just isn't really enough information to go off of in terms of predicting what his future abilities might look like, but Riot Reckless Abandon did share that one of the main focuses on Aatrox's redesign is going to be giving him a way to get back from an early disadvantage, while also giving opponents better ways to deal with him when he's ahead. It's all about getting rid of his feast or famine nature, that playstyle, and replacing it with something that's a little bit more consistent, something that's maybe a little bit less numbers reliant. We also know that the Drain Tank sort of niche playstyle that Aatrox currently holds is going to be removed entirely. It's just too unhealthy and really just impossible to have in a balanced state. Aatrox was way too risky to play as a squishy fighter, and the fact that his abilities cost health to cast kind of just doubles down on the issue. Riot Reckless Abandon confirmed in saying this that the new iteration of Aatrox will no longer pay for his abilities with his life, which is definitely a big improvement if they intend on keeping him more on the squishy, high DPS side of the fighter spectrum. Either way though, that's just about going to wrap up everything we know about the future rework of Aatrox. I tried to compile as much information as I possibly could. Also, I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit sort of, I guess, quiet in this video. I'm kind of sick at the moment, and I'm also sort of preparing for a trip, so it's really early in the morning right now. Either way though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.